Hello students, so now we are going to start with chapter 2, that is story of the evolution of man. So in last chapter you had seen the introduction, who was the father of history and various why do we study history and what are the major characteristics. Then we saw the various definitions given by various scholars. So moving on now with chapter 2, the story of evolution of human. So when you see the topic, now we will see how does the evolution of man happen, how from where man started, the origin of human beings. Okay, so let's start. In this chapter we will discuss the evolution of man. Here the evolution of man means the evolution of human beings. Okay, the term human is derived from the Latin word humanus. So Latin word humanus, it is adjective form of homo meaning man. So the adjective form it's homo, which means man. Okay, so human being, man is your human being, inclusive of women. Okay, it's not gender based, it's both men and women. Okay, the evolution of man is a long and slow gradual process running over over a million of years. It's more than million years since the evolution of men happened. But in the small portion in the history of evolution of the earth, the subsequently the evolution of various life forms that have appeared on the earth till today. Evolution of the earth and various life forms is an ongoing process. It has never stopped since its origin. So evolution man is an ongoing process which is happening, okay, and it's happening from millions of years from then. So first point, origin and evolution of human. There are many theories regarding the origin of earth, but the origin of earth has not been concessively understood. The theorists only try to unravel the mystery of the origin of earth. So what happened is, we have lot of theories which is based on, so we have various theory where they talk about evolution of earth, but they don't talk much of the evolution of human beings. Okay, so we have some of the theories here. The steady state theory state that the galaxies are continuously formed filling empty spaces. So this is also how does your earth form. Okay, so it says that your steady state theory, that your galaxies are being formed filling the empty spaces. Okay, in empty places your galaxy is being formed. Second, the publishing theory states that the universe expands and the contracts continuously. So universe, that is our world, earth, will expand and contracts continuously. The repeated expansion and concentration is like pulse. So it is like pulse, how your pulse will start running, right? So in the same way your earth has been expanding and concentrating. Then the Big Bang theory states that all the matter in the universe was present at the single place in the form of hot and dense fireball. So your Big Bang theory says that your universe was a big ball, fireball, which was being there. As Big Bang theory scattered it all directions, creating galaxies. Earth is a small object in our galaxy. This is the Milky Way. So what happens, that big ball, which is fireball, it was scattered and it went into all directions. So in that one part is our earth, so which is our galaxy, that is our Milky Way. So these are different types of theory. They state that we have so many theories based on for earth, that is a universe, but when we come for human there is not much. Some of them are religious or philosophical and others are scientific. So we have religious texts, philosophical texts, scientific texts to study of earth. Among the scientific theories like the steady state theory, the pulsating theory, the Big Bang theory, etc. So all this theory talks about evolution of earth. Okay, so now we are talking about evolution of earth, not evolution of human beings. The Big Bang theory is popularly widely accepted. So people like Big Bang theory is popularly widely accepted by the people. Earth is one of the planets in the solar system, but it is only planet on which as life has been evolved. So we know this is also based on about your solar system. Okay, so your solar system, Earth is there, one of the planet which is Earth, and there only life has been there because of water, because of light. Earth is said to have been formed at least 4.5 million years ago. So almost 4 billion years ago, Earth was formed. The temperature was so high that the Earth was a white hot mass of melted rock. So the temperature was so high that your earth was a white hot mass of a melted rock. It was witnessed frequent volcanic eruptions and large concentrations. So you had a lot of volcanoes which erupted in earth. Many numbers of comets, meteors collide with the earth in its early years of evolution. So you know, comets, meteors are all your, what to say, which which is there in the solar system, like your hard rocks which comes. One such large concert is believed that have caused the earth tilt and formation of the moon. Those are a couple of important factors along with the other which formulate the weather and climate of earth. So what happened because of this? Now what, because of many comets, many of the metros which passed, because of that earth got tilted and we got get the light from moon, they say. And also the different climate and earth because of the metros and comets, so that the life can, there can people live in earth. So here we have some of the activities. Find out some religious stories about the origin and origin of earth, origin of life. So for example, when we for reference we can say religious text Bible. In a Genesis, I guess that is the first chapter of Genesis. I guess there is they will talk about earth, how earth got evoluted, how the first living being came in, etc. Find out some of the scientific theories of the origin of earth and origin of evolution of life. So scientific theories, you have a lot of theories. Okay, for example, a Big Bang theory is one of the theory which is being there. The earth remained in the molten state for many million years and then began to cool. So the earth was hot for many years, then slowly it became cool down. The volcanic activities also reduced considerably. The gradual cooling of the earth made the outer side of become solid rock. So what happened, because it started becoming cold, volcanoes also reduced. That was the reason why, it was a reason, so that outer side it become solid rock, hard rock, which is called earth's crust. Further cooling made the earth crust to contract, resulting in the formation of mountains. So your earth crust become cool, then your mountains was formed, your valleys. There are folds and wrinkles appearing on the apple, which is left to dry for the few days. These gases released by volcanoes create the predominant atmosphere. The crust was still hot and water was in the form of steam. So what happened was, then to you had your atmosphere, then to your water was like a steam, it was hot. Further cooling condensed the steam to the clouds and then the raisins began to the pour in the tortoise. So what happened, that formed clouds. After forming clouds, the clouds came back as rain, and it become the as your river streams. This continuous downpour formed lakes, rivers, oceans and seas. The rains and winds eroded the valleys and mountains. The erosion formed rocks to break formed tiny particles of the sand and mud. The continuous erosion formed soil, the ocean floor. Okay, so because of erosions, because of rain, your rivers, ocean forms. Because of your erosion, your rocks, everything started forming. Earth was still not compatible for the life to originate because the atmosphere was toxic. So everything was formed, okay, but you didn't have life there, people living there, because your atmosphere was toxic. You see, when you have to breathe, if you want to breathe, you want oxygen, okay. Your tree should give you oxygen. Then you want you have to release a carbon dioxide. At the same time, your tree should release a carbon dioxide, and you need nitrogen. All of those should be there in atmosphere, but atmosphere at the time of it was toxic. Then how did origin of evolution of life? How does life came into the earth? There are many theories regarding the origin of life on earth. According to the most popular theory, about 700 million years ago, the basic chemical in earth's atmosphere, hydrogen and carbon, somehow combined to the form life in the water. So what happened, slowly 700 million years ago, slowly your hydrogen and carbon, it formed and it become what to say, it mixed in the water and formed the life. This slowly evolved into primitive water plants. So slowly inside water, plants started growing. They began to grow and occupy shallow and warm seas. Okay, the water plants gradually adapted themselves and began to encroach on the land. So slowly from water, the plants started coming out to the land. About 500 million years ago, protozoa originated in the water. So it was 500 million. The first thing was protozoa was originated. It considered to be the first form of animal life. So your protozoa is the first form of animal life. Then single cell beings become multiple cell. First single cell life came, only one cell. So in our human beings we have so many cells. The cells will die, then cells form inside your body. At the same time, first single cell came, then multicellular living organisms came. The primitive life forms like photosynthetic bacteria released oxygen into the atmosphere as they evolved. So slowly when photosynthetic bacteria came, they started releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. This method more habitable for the higher life forms originated. So because of this oxygen, what happened, slowly other form, bigger plants, bigger trees started coming up. water creatures appeared, insects, amphibians like frogs came into existence. The amphibians were capable of existing on land and water as well. So amphibians are something which will be on land as well, for example a frog. Then the reptiles appeared at the some of the species among them adapted to become birds. Okay, then you had reptiles. Okay, that reptiles only turn into plants. All this diverse life form took about 400 million years to evolve. Mammals evolved about 200 million years ago. So you have your different forms evolved 400 million years ago. Your mammals means biggest animals. Okay, land living animals which came almost 200 million years ago. Horses, camels, dog, etc. Like horses, camels and dogs, etc. evolved around 50 million years ago. So your horse, cat, dog, everything was evolved 50 million years ago. So here we have Charles Robert Darwin. So we know Darwin's theory, which is very important. So 12th February 1809, 19th April 1882 was an English naturalist. He established that all species of life have descended over time from common ancestors and proposed a scientific theory, that is the branching pattern of evolution resulted from the process he called the natural selection, in which the struggle of existence has a similar effect to the artificial selective involved in the selective breeding. Darwin published his theory for evolution with the compelling evidence in 1859 book on the origin of species, resulting in the rejections of earlier concepts of transmutation species. So what happened is, we know Darwin's theory is much theory. Darwin says that everyone have ancestors. Okay, for example, apes. We humans have come from apes, that is monkeys. Okay, so he says a lot of them rejected it, but at times it was accepted, Darwin's theory. So here we stop years ago.